Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive into this, because today we're exploring literally one of the most thrilling, action-packed chapters in all of history. I mean, we're talking about the ultimate rescue mission, an intensely crazy battle of unseen forces, and a great mystery that totally changed the world forever.
Think about it for a second. Have you ever been wide awake in the darkest, scariest part of the night? You know that feeling. Now, I want you to use your imagination and put yourself right there, in that pitch-black, quiet hour just before daybreak. But imagine you're standing outside a heavily guarded Roman tomb in ancient times. It's freezing, it's deadly quiet, and the tension in the air? It's thick enough to cut with a sword.
Which brings us to Chapter 1, The Darkest Night.
So here's the scene. Inside this narrow tomb lies a prisoner. Outside, there's this massive, incredibly heavy stone blocking the entrance, and it's sealed completely shut with the unbreakable stamp of the mighty Roman Empire. You've got elite Roman soldiers, literally the bravest and toughest guards in the entire world, keeping a super strict watch. But what those fierce soldiers don't realize is that there's an invisible battle happening all around them in the dark. Hosts of evil angels are desperately trying to keep that tomb shut forever. The Prince of Darkness and his wicked army, they wanted to make absolutely sure the Son of God never, ever came out. But they were completely surrounded. A massive heavenly host of incredibly strong angels was right there too, guarding the area, just waiting for the perfect moment to welcome the Prince of Life.
And then we hit Chapter 2. The earth shakes.
Boom! Suddenly, the quiet pre-dawn night is just totally shattered. The earth doesn't just tremble, it violently shakes in this massive earthquake. The mightiest angel in all of heaven comes crashing down from the heavenly courts. And the bright beams of God's glory shoot out in front of him, lighting up the pitch-black night like an explosive lightning storm. His face is shining like lightning, his clothes are as white as snow. He walks right up to that giant, heavy stone and, get this, effortlessly rolls it away like it's just a tiny little pebble. The earth is reeling, thunder is roaring, and then Jesus wakes up. He steps out of that grave with the powerful, unstoppable walk of a mighty conqueror.
And as he steps out in total majesty and glory, he declares, "I am the resurrection and the life." I mean, just imagine the incredible energy, the absolute triumph of that moment. All the heavenly angels bow low, welcoming him with these joyous songs of praise. But what about those tough, brave Roman guards, the ones who were never afraid of human power? Well, when they see the glorious face of this mighty angel and the risen Jesus, they are so absolutely terrified they literally faint and fall to the ground, shaking like dead men. No joke.
Now for Chapter 3, The Great Cover-Up.
So when the blinding light finally fades and the angels leave, those terrified soldiers eventually wake up. And let me tell you, they do not stick around. Staggering like dizzy men, they run as fast as their trembling legs can carry them straight into the city. They rush right to the Jewish leaders, and with completely pale faces, they whisper the absolute truth. An angel descended, and Jesus rose. But the leaders absolutely panic. They force the soldiers to spread this completely ridiculous lie that his disciples came by night and stole him away while they slept. Now, what's really interesting about this is, think about how totally ridiculous that lie is. If the guards were actually fast asleep, how in the world did they know it was the disciples who stole the body, right? You can't see who's robbing you if your eyes are closed.
So why did the priests panic so much? Well, they sold out the truth. They bribed the guards with a heavy, heavy bag of money. They promised to protect these soldiers from the Roman governor Pilate's anger, because falling asleep on guard duty, that was a serious crime punishable by death. They framed this completely fake report to spread far and near. And because of their lies, for the rest of their lives, these leaders lived in constant, dreadful fear. I mean, every single time they walked down the street, they were terrified they were going to run face to face into the risen Jesus. And meanwhile, Satan angrily realized his evil kingdom was completely 100% doomed.
Let's move to Chapter 4, the first fruits promise, and see how this builds into something amazing.
So, what does this amazing historical event actually mean for you and me today? Well, it connects to an incredible ancient symbol that explains everything. We call it the first fruits. By definition, first fruits means the very first ripe piece of a harvest that promises a whole field is coming soon. Think about going out into a garden in early summer and finding the very first perfectly red, juicy strawberry. When you hold that one strawberry, you just know that in a few weeks, the whole field is going to be absolutely bursting full of them. In this chapter, Jesus was the wave sheaf. He was the very first one to rise from the dead, which is a solid promise that a massive harvest of other people will rise too.
And get this. For over 1,000 years, The ancient people of Israel performed a special wave-sheaf ceremony with their grain. For all those hundreds and hundreds of years, that exact ceremony was pointing forward to this exact world-changing day when Jesus rose.
And here is honestly the coolest part. Jesus didn't wake up alone. When that massive earthquake hit, it didn't just move the stone from Jesus' tomb. It violently ripped open other graves too. When Jesus rose, he brought a multitude of captives out of the grave with him. These were people who had loved God and died, and now they were raised to everlasting life as these glorious trophies of his amazing victory. Jesus essentially declared, "These are no longer Satan's captives. I have redeemed them."
Which brings us to our final part, Chapter 5, Victory over Death.
Let's just take a deep breath, slow down for a second, and really think about what this means for you right now. This isn't just some awesome action story from the past. It's something that completely changes how we deal with the scary things in our own lives. You see, to anyone who believes in Jesus, death is just asleep. It's no longer this big, terrifying monster hiding in the dark. Because of what happened on that amazing morning, death is just a small matter. It's nothing more than a moment of silence and darkness. It's literally exactly like coming home after a long, hard day of playing outside, closing your eyes and taking a quick, peaceful nap.
Jesus promised, "If a man keep my saying, he shall never see death." So the crucial point is this: Jesus completely broke the bonds of death. He's way stronger than the grave, and because he has life inside himself, he has the absolute power to give eternal life to us. When his powerful voice calls out again in the future, just exactly like it did on that morning, anyone who is sleeping will wake up to a glorious, immortal life.
So I want to leave you with this final, really important question to think about. How does knowing Jesus is the resurrection and the life change how you view your own future? When you understand the incredible rescue mission we talked about in this explainer, you realize you don't ever have to be afraid. Because Jesus fought the ultimate battle against the darkness, and he won. And because he won, you win too. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.